first start worrying about, well, no, I shouldn't say worry. You should concern yourself with where the market's likely to draw to. That is the absolute golden ticket. Because if you know how to do that, given enough time, you will find a entry model that you'll love taking. It makes perfect sense for you. It meets and agrees with your personality. No matter how much money I show I can make with one PD array or another, it won't matter to you. That's maturity. That means that you have found your model. You're not trying to leave what you found. You're now blooming where you're planted. That's the endeavor that all of you should be aspiring to do. What's the point of you watching my videos or listening to me talk about it unless you're going to put it to practice? That's a terrible waste of time. If you're just listening to me and you're not doing anything with the things I'm telling you to focus on, train yourself, test, build a back testing log of journaled entries and exits and things that you studied in old hindsight moves. If you're not doing those things, you're wasting your time. And that's horrible. Why would you want to do that? Time is something that we don't get more of. My life commitments, my sleep schedule dictates that I can't trade the New York session, Michael. So what should I do in that essence? Well, I think that you should probably trade London. There's moves that take place overnight between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning. There's setups just like when I teach in Forex. So you have to wrestle and guard your mind. If you're here, commit to the full year. Don't come in casually and think, well, it didn't really teach me how to make money, in the first 3 sessions. And I'm just going to pack it in. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for you. You didn't put the work in. So that's why you don't have a excuse if you are going to come in on a part-time basis here. You have to be 100% committed. I'm going to give you my full year. What are you going to bring to the table? Are you committed? Are you going to, really put conviction behind the things that you're doing while you're training with me this year? Because if you don't, you're not going to get the results you're looking for. Mind your own business and be the king of your own castle. But what castle are you going to live in as a trader? You have to know what those things are. And unfortunately, it's a source of frustration for new students and new traders because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know where your strengths are. You don't know where your weaknesses are. That's what makes this industry hard, because 90% of this is you wrestling with yourself, because the charts are going to go up or they're going to go down. And if they're not doing either one of them, they're going sideways. And that's a simple thing to measure probabilities. Is it likely to go higher or lower? Or based on the economic calendar, when's it likely not to do much at all and go sideways? So you have 3 decisions there. But those 3 decisions are going to push you, if you have a weak-minded perspective on risk, it's going to make you impulsive, and you're going to chase moves and do things that are going to be outside of a model. And if you sit down in front of these charts and you don't feel that passion about being on a treasure hunt, you have the potential to do something extremely difficult. But if you follow the rules of a well-sounded and formulated approach that manages impeccably the risks, this is really fun. It's really fun. And the outcome could potentially change your whole entire life. But don't try to apply everything that I teach. That's the problem. I might not enter on the breaker. I'm waiting for a price run and a fair value gap or a institutional order flow. That's a paintbrush. It's going to be used if the opportunity presents itself. But I'm not going to the marketplace. I'm here, guys. I have all my breakers, all my mitigation blocks, I have my fair value gaps. I'm going to force all of this on this chart today. I'm going to press it all on there. You're going to have a mess. And that's unfortunately what neophyte traders or casual Netflix type ICT people that come here and just watch or listen to me, and they think, okay, this stuff doesn't work because there was no breaker today, and look what the market did. Okay, look what else it provided you, an opportunity. I can get in the market after the market runs halfway. I can still go in those moves. I have tools for that. I show you proof. This is precision. This is where it's going to go. This is why it's going to happen. So that way it will be able to be leaned on when the times come when you think that the lessons are not working for you. You're not getting the results as quick as efficiently as you were hoping. Like you want to learn how to do this in 3 weeks. I'm telling you, you're not going to. It's going to take you the full year. And some of you, it's going to require you to do the things I'm going to teach you and go into a little bit more of next year before you really get it. Some of you, it's been with me for a long time, that have been on the fence with wrestling with some of these things I've talked about thus far, and they've been a hindrance to you. You just don't know what it has been for you specifically. It's causing you not to get through that threshold that's needed for you to find consistency with it. You'll find probably the first month or two, it'll happen for you. Just because you sit down in front of the charts, the market doesn't owe you shit. It doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't owe you your setup. It doesn't owe you your pattern. It doesn't owe you your R multiple you're trying to get. And it doesn't owe you your fucking FTMO leaderboard position you're trying to aim for. Or that your account is going to move over to some new stage, like you pass the funded account. Like, it doesn't owe you that. That's a major hurdle for new traders. Nobody owes you anything. You have to work your ass off for it. You have to earn it. And it's not going to be easy. And when you think you accepted the fact that it's going to be harder than you probably thought it was, then when you're met with the reality that it's really harder than you thought it was going to be, that separates you from traders that are going to be here and endure it. Because if you give yourself enough time, you'll find consistency. And consistency and profitably consistent isn't mean every day profitable. But your model has to define what sound logic you're going to adopt. This is someone that's been doing it for 30 years. I lost a lot of fucking money, folks. I lost a lot of money doing stupid shit. Do you want to go through it too to learn the lesson? I mean, think about it. Do you want to learn that way? And because that's what everybody else does. All I'm trying to be is a conduit so that way you don't do those things. I'm not promising you're going to get rich. I'm promising you're going to work your ass off. But you do the things I'm telling you to do, you could be seeing what these young men and women are doing all around the world right now with real money. And that's undeniable. And I'm not hand-holding them. So you have to have your focus, and you have to tolerate being taught correctly. I'm asking you to be responsible as a student and filter out all the bullshit. Because you're going to see if I know what I'm talking about right away, if you haven't already noticed. But your limitation and distractions, I'm managing that. I'm also managing my own as a human being. I'm not AI. I'm a real person. I'm easily distracted. I'm easily pissed off. I can fly off. Well, you're now hearing it, right? That's the mood shifts that I have to wrestle with all the time. And in the marketplace, you'll have that. You won't see that manifest in me doing live sessions. You'll never see me go off the rails over the charts. That is absolutely when I'm 100% disciplined. That took 30 years to get that. I don't look at a result that's adverse in the marketplace, whether I'm in a trade live or when I'm in front of you, calling it and it does something else. You're never going to hear me go, oh, for fuck's sake. That doesn't happen. Because I know me, I know my model, and I know that what I'm doing will repeat. That 1 minute candle has a storyline. It's telling you something. You need to be understanding real time when I'm not going to be doing this. By experience, you've seen it. You've walked it before. You've been down this road before. You know where that Rottweiler is. You know in the hole in the fence, if you get too fucking close to it, it's going to rip your ass apart. So that way you had experience, right? So that way you walk down there, you know, I'm going to cross the other side of the road. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're scared. This means that that's stupid. I'm not walking over here and tearing up this fucking nice shirt I'm wearing. I'm not tearing up my clothes. I'm not getting all tore up. That's experience. But some of you just want to walk down the road and get your ass tore up and say, yeah, I did it too, ICT. You know, look at like the scene from Jaws. Everybody's showing their scars. This is the wound I got. Well, look at this one. I got one better than that. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. I am showing you the greatest consideration that anybody else would do for free. Don't come to me and say, fuck you, ICT. You're not doing it the way I want. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. You want to learn how to make a lot of fucking money? Show up every day. You want to learn how to control yourself in the markets? Show up every day. You want to learn how to manage drawdown and come out of it? Show up every day. How to avoid when the trades are not likely to pan out? Show up every day. If you don't know where the market's going to go next. Why are you pushing that fucking button? Why are you inviting monetary loss, emotional distress, stress, anxiety? You're inviting that on the basis of what? You're going to have times when you start going in drawdown, you're going to lose. And you need to make decisions, and they need to be rooted in sound logic. What's the next step if you go into drawdown? Another trade? Same risk? More risk? No stop loss? You have to have rules. You have to have a process to manage yourself, because unless you manage you, it's over.